Hello, good afternoon, Dr. Joss Almo.
Good afternoon.
I would like to introduce to our audience that today we have Joss Almer as Officiar Junior as an eminent speaker for our third session interview today. So he is affiliated to University of Mindanao, Tagum, Philippines. Welcome to the third session for Eurasia Research. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great, and thank you for the opportunity to be interviewed by Eurasia.
You're most right. So starting with the third session now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. First, how do you define the role of artificial intelligence in transforming modern education?
Well, that's the question. It's the first question.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, right now, our world is being shaped by the advent of artificial intelligence. It is something that we could not get out with. Okay. So there are a lot of debates about whether artificial intelligence is really affecting how we deliver learning towards our individual classrooms. But since it is inevitable, it is something that we need to embrace. We need to use artificial intelligence more appropriately in aspects of learning. So it is a misconception that artificial intelligence is used only for cheating in much sense, making fake papers for some of the students. But these are some things that really need to address as well. But we cannot deny the fact that artificial intelligence is here to stay, and we need to integrate it to learning and to ensure that we can build ethical standards on how to use artificial intelligence in learning.
That's great. Moving ahead with the questions. Second, how can institutions ensure that AI enhances learning without replacing the human element in teaching?
Well, it does enhance learning. In fact, in our research, in the case of linguistics, we focus on conversational analysis, meaning you can use artificial intelligence to improve how you speak or how you use English for communication. Because there are features, like, for example, in ChatGPT, they have this conversational feature in which you can talk with the AI, the artificial intelligence, like it's a native speaker level of conversation. So you can really do that. However, as institutions, we also need to create measures on how to ensure that students will not use AI for, for cheating or in other aspects for what purpose. I guess institutions around the world should create that standards, should create that ethical standards in order to ensure that students will use AI responsibly.
Right. In what ways can AI support personalized and adaptive learning for students?
Well, you cannot. AI could not replace, of course, like books, no materials of learning. They could not replace that. However, AI can be a guide. It can provide a timely guide for students on how to study, on how to create the papers. So it is more important as well that institutions may need to provide important trainings, especially for teachers, on how to use AI. Okay? I guess that's what they can do. In fact, in other aspects of platforms related to education, they are really using as well artificial intelligence. So it is something that we need to be used to, but we also need to balance it on how to use it, especially in learning.
How should educators address issues like academic dishonesty and over-reliance on AI tools?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the
Sure.
question?
How should educators address issues like academic dishonesty and over-reliance on AI tools?
Well, it's a matter of creating a program that can really assess whether an output is AI based. because we cannot deny the fact that there are really academic outputs out there that were made by AI. It's a matter of what tools we can use. Right now, we have Turnitin, we also have Grammarly. However, it has been proven by a research conducted that even papers written before AI was flagged out as AI generated. So, meaning the system is not as accurate as it plays. So, therefore, we need to improve on ensuring that we have these tools to really assess or check whether an output is AI generated. However, we can still flag out if it is a guide, if it is an outline. It's a matter of how we really use. It's on the user rather than the system or the application itself.
Okay, nice, great. What advice would you give to young researchers who are just starting out in the research work based on your own experience and insights?
What advice I can give for
Yeah,
those young
young
researchers?
researchers.
Okay. Well, research is not like a walk in the park. It's not like you're waking up, you are now a researcher. It's a process. It takes time for you to really have a grip on how to do research. It's okay to stumble. My best advice is you enjoy the faults, you enjoy the mishaps, you enjoy the mistakes that you made in doing research because that's how we learn. You
Yeah,
know, Thomas Edison, it took him 1,000 times to really got the best output, the light bulb, in inventing the light bulb. That means you can also stumble as a scientist, as a budding scientist. You will begin with mistakes, so it's okay. It's a matter of embodying humility, the importance of the value of being humble. Because in our community, in the research community, you will encounter critics, you will encounter questions, you will encounter rebuttals of your research. So there's nothing wrong with that. You need to be open. So if you have a humble mindset, you will accept corrections and then apply it to your research because research is a process. It's a scientific process. It doesn't end. It always does go on. You know, it builds up, it progresses. So that's the beauty of doing research. It's a never-ending journey. Sometimes, some people, some scientists are really getting older. They're like in their 90s, and yet they're still doing research because it's a never-ending process.
yeah, that's very great. My last question,
Yeah.
the positive feedback about our conference.
My feedback on the conference. Well, actually, it has been several conferences that I have attended, both online and face to face. My first conference was in Bali, Indonesia, when I first attended. And I won the best paper during that conference in Bali, Indonesia. This was way back in 2019, before pandemic. And what I learned in Eurasia is that there is a potential that it can go bigger. Yeah, that's the truth there. Because we have smaller conferences, that's true, but it would be nice if we have a bigger conference, like a very big conference with a lot of audiences, just like other conferences. Because Eurasia really does have good venues, good presentations. And during my presentation in Japan, I've really learned a lot from other presenters, especially that focuses more on economics, the influence of technology in economics, especially in education, politics. There were presenters as well about politics, about uh, uh, public works. They also have that, like delegations from China is presenting on that. So it's really very interesting, very diverse. What I like about Eurasia is that it's very diverse. There are a lot of researches that it can tap on. But I would really like to see more of a very big conference. And I'll be attending on that. I will make sure that I'll be there.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Thank you for
Thank you.
attending this chat session. We are honored to have you, and it will be great to see you at our future conferences as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that's it. That's the end of our interview.
Yes, that's